pulling a signing out of absolutely nowhere does actually feel quite vintage Chelsea.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Chelsea have signed a defender that can convert into midfield. Renato Veiga. Me neither, mate. Welcome back to Football Family. Welcome back to the channel with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well. Really do hope that. I was eating my dinner, mate, but I wanted to react to this signing. I'm a little bit late. It was best part of 2 hours ago. This was broken, this story. Yes, Chelsea have agreed to sign Portuguese talent Renato Veiga from Basel. And we're going to get into that today, talk a little bit about the ramifications. Very, very, very affordable signing. This does lean itself massively into the Moneyball idea of the new Chelsea owners because it's very, very cheap. Looks like, of course, Calafiori is going to Arsenal, and that will be like a 50 million quid plus signing. This could be 11 million quid. And in fact, I think Renato Veiga is the replacement for Calafiori before Calafiori went to Bologna. So very similar profiles. The team in Basel, sorry, Jesus, my brain. Basel scouted Renato Veiga as a similar profile to Calafiori to replace him in their team. We're going to speak about it a bit today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content. As always, super simple. Drop a like, subscribe if you want to, hit the bell if you choose to, and let's talk about this. So yes, he's born in 2003, he's left-footed and he is versatile, which does go with what Chelsea have been trying to achieve with their latest defender signing. This is probably a good thing. I don't feel quite bad about it. I feel possibly good about this if he is the profile that we need. And I'll tell you for why. Because we've got good left-footed defenders. We've got Brandon Shield, whatever your thoughts are on him. We've got Levi Colwill, who's got a very high ceiling. And of course we've got, Chile and Cuckoo, who's playing right now as half-time. It's probably the second half's going to start shortly. Not the greatest first half of football ever, watching Spain against Germany. But, yes, very, very, very affordable. He's tall. I'm just quickly looking at his transfer market here. I'm gonna let you know the score here. So, of course, he plays for Basel. He is Portuguese. He's 20 years old. He will turn 21 at the end of this month. So, he's young. He fits the profile. Born in Lisbon. Yeah, he's 1.9 meters. He's like, I don't know what that is in real money, but it's tall, man. It's tall, especially compared to, like, Cucurella. He is... Yeah, this guy is Enzo Maresca all over this, right? Because his positions are centre-back, and he can play all centre-back positions, like right, left, middle of a three. His main position is defensive midfield, but he also, one of his other positions, as well as left-back, centre-back, is left-back. So he is the quintessential left-back inverting into defensive midfield player. Now, Cucurella might be the guy to start there. Like, Cucurella's had a great Euros. He ended the season for Chelsea very, very well. Many of you would rightly be like, this guy deserves a chance. Maybe that's the plan, to give him a chance. But let's remember, guys, we have got Europe, and it's going to be grueling. It's Thursday night, Sunday night football. You're going to need heavy rotation. And, I've got to remind you, we've got the Club World Cup. The additional load this season is going to be profound. So you need players that can play in this particular style of football. And one thing that's being reiterated to us that we keep hearing is that Chelsea are trying to keep the plan the same across the board. The development team, the new structure that's being implemented. Of course, we spoke about that in this morning's video. Even Strasbourg are meant to be emulating what Chelsea are doing. So when players go either way, they are plug and play into each systems for each manager, for all the sporting directors. It's all the same. It's all umbrellaed. So it's easy to bring in a replacement, an upgrade, cover. Sensible, really, right? And this guy represents, Renato Veiga, represents the perfect player for Enzo Maresca. I'm looking at his heat map now. I mean, he's valued at 3 million euros on certain sporting football websites. We're buying him for, it looks like £11 million. But if he's the player that you want for £11 million, then it's cheap, bro. Apparently, he's really, really ambitious. Apparently, he's a good player. It's freaking wild, isn't it? Yeah. How do I feel about this? Well, look, there's not that much data on him statistic-wise. I was trying to have a little bit of a deep dive, but there's not much at the moment. Apparently, his strengths on SofaScore are mainly positioning, which obviously really goes into the idea that he is this versatile player that Maresca will really, really want. He scored 2 goals last season, I think. Obviously, he's not an attacking player. He played 23 games last season. He started 22. He was in the team of the week 3 times in the Swiss league. He takes 1.7 shots per game, which seems like quite a high volume for a guy who doesn't score that much. But again, you're not getting him for goals. That is, his passing is strong, especially for a player playing for Basel, I guess. I don't know. Well, I don't know how dominant they are. He's got 93% accuracy in his own half, which he'll be doing a lot of in defensive midfield and left back. Yeah, it makes decent amount of tackles per game, clearances per game. He recovers 7 balls per game, which is pretty strong. He's a defensively intelligent footballer, and I think really, guys, the big thing here is that he is a positionally versatile. Now, people might not get overly excited about this because of the finances, right? Should we get into that a bit? The Calafiori is going to be a lot of money. He will just cost a lot of money. 50 million, big ones for a player who played well for Bologna and, of course, has had a couple of games at least for Italy in the Euros. It would have been fun and represented a high-profile signing. I've got tomato sauce on my face. This is chaos. Yeah, man, he would have represented an exciting signing. I get it why. I don't even know if he's turned down Chelsea or it's just Arsenal that are really going in seriously because they were prepared to pay the money. But yeah, like I'm not sort of crying over not signing Calafiori because Chelsea have an awesome squad. Like Chelsea do have a really good squad, and we're like, people might think like, oh, who's this guy? Like, I've never heard of him. And yeah, but how many of you have heard of Malo Gusto? And how many of you have heard of Nicholas Jackson, who proved to be excellent value, even at 32 million quid. Cole Palmer, of course, was relatively high profile. We knew who he was, but we didn't know how well he would do. So if he's going to help the team and be good, then I've got no issue with it at all. And actually what it might mean and what it might represent is that we have more P's to spend in other parts of the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Like we can drop a bit more on that sort of left-sided winger, right footer. Of course, we've been speaking about that recently about Chiesa and Mitoma, the potential options for more senior options. But who knows? Chelsea will probably just sign someone out of nowhere from the Swiss league, like they've done with Veiga here. But it is kind of exciting. Like I do like it when Chelsea pull a signing out of the bag because Romano caught whiff of it late. But this is clearly like if you look, it looks like joined up thinking. It's not a random player. Like this is not a Man United going, oh god, sign Mason Mount, sign Casemiro, like just big names. This is okay. We're gonna play a certain way. We're gonna need a player that can do this. And yes, it is Moneyball, isn't it? And 11 million quid for a defensive midfielder, centre back, left back that can rotate in those positions and is tall as well. We're getting more and more tall boys in there. Of course, Tosin is a giant. This guy's tall as well. I don't know. I mean, it's a new player. That's exciting. New players, eh? Not really a long video today. I just wanted to react to this signing in isolation. Of course, I'm sure stories will break overnight in terms of how this came to pass and what to expect and who wanted him and all this kind of stuff. So do keep it locked to Football Therapy. And we will, of course, react to more stories as they develop here on the channel. All right, mate. Hope to see you back here soon. Love you very much. Peace.